London as a village.
And London as a village.
Takumã Kuikuro, Ete Londres, que é Hakuengaituna, se tu conhe tua mulher, lá tu tela não amontonga, ni le conha, se tu conhe lhe.
Londres é cheia de cultura, de espaços especiais, como esse pub que a gente está aqui hoje, na realidade, que parece o countryside, mas a gente está no meio de Londres.
Such an amazing city, there's always stuff going on, so busy, so chaotic but fun.
Thank you.
A mixture of cultures. I believe I'm very fortunate and I have the best of the cultures that I've been exposed to.
I'm very French. I was born French and I will die French. So, I love this culture. I'm just a witness.
O Timberó Ete Londres, né? Foto com o Inhanga, Yala o Itaguinho inglês. Yala ônibus e renega na moeque, Yala metrô e renega na moeque. Em que sapa, Itaguinho banga e Timbela, que é a coenga ituna, Saragueha, Hotugui, o Timbela, Tigate.
Uma cidade de Londres incrível, ver isso. Roda Tikigatalupe.
We started thinking about this boat. There was a couple that used to live on here and we used to peep through the windows and be like, that's our dream home. And we used to draw ourselves in it and stare at it for the law of attraction and be like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know, if you say you live on a boat,
yeah, people
immediately, they're like, oh. The kids in school, when I've told them that I live on a boat, they're all like, why? Have you not got any money? Why can't you live in a home? And I'm like, it is a home, but it's just on the water. It's the same thing.
A lot of things get made through connections on the dock, definitely.
Yeah. I didn't have a job, I didn't know anyone, and a lovely man called Ewan, he said to me, I'll get you a job straight away in the place he worked at. Pretty much from the off, people were helping me. And it's always been like that.
Yeah.
London as a village. Rugby is one of the main sports that people play in England. It's been exported all the way around the world, and now we've got World Cup, all sorts of new teams coming onto the scene. Yeah, and it really is part of English culture. Even when you go to the stadiums, you sit next to the rival team. It's not like football where you have to segregate them because everyone starts fighting.
1, 2, 3, freeze!
O telo que é Hakuenga bolak com Ilanya, rugby tito, que denega nelinhila lo é que lá. Lá tem o tela a região que duga na negate.
Eu não tô entendendo nada qual a regra do jogo aqui. Eu acho que foi gol ali. Eu não tô entendendo nada aqui esse jogo.
And London as a village.
I've been living here in this boat on this marina for, I think it's nearly 14 years. You know, my life is an adventure. So it's just what the next course that my life was taking. It is a bit like a dream. It just opens your eyes to being alive.
Quando você está conectado com a dança, com a música, você está fazendo uma troca com a audiência. Por essa troca, com essa comunhão da arte com o espectador, é essa troca de energias que vai alcançar um estado mais elevado. Por que pintar uma imagem de um Deus? Por que dançar de uma certa forma? Por que tocar um instrumento de uma certa forma? É para alcançar isso. Então, por exemplo, isso aqui pode representar parado. Ou também isso aqui pode representar um espelho. Ou também isso aqui pode representar um bebê.
Idiana angoha, tatuteha ikoigisa tu yinyu kotu, nginegisa itu. Deus o helinyani, kinyani elinyala Deus o hele kanagai, ikoigisa itu. Kangunale kona, kwa kuigisui, kagutahaigisui, kangaigisui, kuagigisui, ikoigisa itu ngenetu guigis.
ग्रन्थगीताय ग्रन्थगेयाय ग्रन्थान्तरात्मनि.
London as a village.
And this was a cheaper alternative way to live, to own in a house. It had a lot of people coming together which didn't have as much money, often had like a lot of time, so there's a lot of like interaction together between people, but now you're getting people with a lot of money coming who are buying big boats. They're never on them, or they don't even live on them, they come and use them for a weekend here and there.
Our children would never be able to live in London. Not that we're going to have children anytime soon, but...
No.
Heine harape munga purata, se tu kohunega huega kotolaiku. Tatute hulu ko hengoi, hulu hengoi, kuge kohulu hengoi, leate iganungo heke, hengo tomo akagoi, hengo tomo akagoi. Anet, haiden tsele katutolanet, ngelengi loek wingugi ngole sanet kanga gehal. Ku ngela itskitse o hesu gehal tatsaini gehal ha ngele ha ikot itetu tingongo guhen ka ikokai tu itskitse o hesu.
Come in, mind your head. Basically, it became a community. Initially it was just individuals moving on here with their boats, and everybody gets to know one another, and people meet here and get married and have children, and you know, so it becomes an entire community.
What do you call it? Kachiki? No.
Kasiki.
Kasiki,
yeah. He pretty much is. This wouldn't be a community without Rod.
The main thing about rugby is like the spirit of respect. Like with one of the guys, like he smashed me with like the elbow on the neck, landed on the floor, got up, I went to smash him like really hard, and he looked at me, he's like, yeah. And now we hugged, it's like good.
Integale saigale ku tukole kidene sotegale kinto toko eti toten samakili heke ikonai ngoi swalel le papi jegali heke le pegane gale le penela town silikole.
This is London as a village.
Here we are. If you want to look at some of my work before I retired. We were doing it for the community, to get telephones on the marina, water included rather than paying for it, and things like that, just negotiating with the management for a better deal for everybody that was living here.
Being on a boat used to be an affordable alternative. And then as the mooring fees went up and up and up, it was pretty desperate and people were leaving. So this is why, you know, the whole thing started.
Well, because I complained about them breaking promises, the management breaking promises, and took them to court.
Unyatan sugat sut sarage tseu hesonal tingon wi henne kai ge hala na o ge hala sarage hali tseu hesu ko gal tingon ko henne kai ge.
Came to Poplar Dock Marina in 1999. We said we'd be here probably 3 years and then go somewhere else. We've now been here nearly 16 years. So.
We are Bengali, so culture, music, dance is very much integral in our growing up and family life. And so my father was very keen for me to start some classical dance form and fell in love.
Conheço muita gente na Índia, né, muitos indianos, e eles não têm a mínima ideia o que é kathak. Então eu explico para eles, mostro para eles. A maioria dos shows é sempre de graça, mas é que a questão é que a maioria do público consome mesmo Bollywood.
London, Nawahu Mahu Pushu.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Davidson. I'm a certified EFT practitioner, it's also known as tapping. And I'd like to tell you why I think you and actually anybody from the age of 2 to 200 and 102 should know about tapping. First of all, it's... Okay.
Huati tao ngele hogi jewek wingugi ngoleha huati gehale si tutonga ni gehale.
Healing, which is something that I've been doing in the last 8-9 years, is to do with building bridges between people. I mean, there has to be a connection from the practitioner to the person.
I want to get to know them, so because I think that's important.
The first time that I went to Brazil was to kind of spend time travelling up the Amazon on a hospital ship, and it was like leaving the Amazon was like leaving a lover. So that, that really registered in my heart, which is why I've come home to being on a boat. My favourite thing is just going around other people's boats and having a cup of tea and chatting about things and just being human together, really.
So it's my turn to have the pleasure of introducing this next act. I also have the pleasure of seeing them very close.
Na Índia, tradicionalmente, se vive em grandes famílias, então as casas são grandes, onde toda a família mora junto. Tradicionalmente, a noiva sempre se muda para a casa do noivo, com a família.
Si tandu dotte hetete, toto eti mokile ha, tu sohongati, itaongati. Tu sohati nyo batomi hegi heke, tu katsuki, kangake teluki, tuhinya hotuiluki, I kohanuki heke. Leate toto eti mokile, itaongati.
London as a village.
Kukueko hakiki no dokodene. Ki kutselego kei kusui tu se kimuke in koi kusui tu ki matongo nge tome kupe uleke ki kusuki.
Agora cosa melhor do rugby é o terceiro tempo, que bebes uma se ganhaste, bebes uma se perdiste e ficas muito bêbado.
London as a village.
Até 40 anos atrás, as mulheres que dançavam eram consideradas prostitutas. Então, o que aconteceu é que as mulheres da sociedade começaram a dançar, então começou a ser mais respeitada. Teve um redescobrimento da dança clássica indiana.
It's a very, very ancient dance style, but it's also so modern because it has known how to evolve also, and some feelings are just human feelings.
London as a village.
Rati hekege haleha anya itaginyo talu. Từ nó Congo cúi hưng hạt cái gì nữa rati cái cúi to mà lệ pecar.
I had a woman who was on the phone from me in Geneva, an Indian woman, and I found myself saying to her, I wonder what your father would say to sort of make you feel better. And then I said, with enormous clarity, I said, actually he wouldn't say anything. He would just look at you, he would reach out and he would stroke your hair, and he wouldn't use any words at all. And then I thought, what if I'm wrong? I mean, my father would never have done that. But down the phone there was just this kind of, how do you know? How did you know that that is what he always did? And I said, I didn't know. I just sort of felt it. And she said, well, that's extraordinary. So, and that only happens to me when I'm tapping. I don't walk around in my daily life having these kind of sudden feelings about it.
We live in London as a village.
Woo!